This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talon Mix, the Smallville recap podcast whose biggest fear is losing you. I'm Brian, here as always with my pal Zach. Zach, how are you, man?
Just great. I'm doing great, Brian. Great.
Great,
I need to come up with a line for each one of these, and I never think ahead of time. I know you're going to ask me how I'm doing, and I'm just always caught off guard for some reason.
I guess it's not really a fair question of like, how are you doing? There is no good answer aside from like,
Yeah.
Good. How are you?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Should I ask you something else?
I don't know, but what should you ask me? Should we leave it up? Should we do a poll?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put. Give me questions to ask Zach, and maybe I'll ask you something new every week.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a fun game.
So Zach, this will be old news by the time anybody listens to this. But today, the day we are recording this, Oscar nominations came out.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Oscars overall?
I still watch them every year.
Right.
I'm not invested at all in who wins.
Right.
Generally, once in a while, there will be someone I'm like, oh, I hope they get one, or, something like that, or a movie I really am pulling for. But
right.
When I was growing up, it was like the Super Bowl for me.
I remember like rooting for movies, and it's like, well, that's silly.
Well, you and I watched the Oscars when we were in Vancouver in my apartment, and it was literally like the Super Bowl. Like, you came over.
Yeah.
We were just like, let's go.
That's what I feel like. That was a moment that I feel like that was a friendship solidifying experience a little bit, in that I didn't have cable, or I didn't have a TV. I was like, can I come watch the Oscars at your place? And you were like, yeah, but I do want to watch the Oscars. I don't want to like bullshit with it on in the background. And I'm like, I also want to watch the Oscars.
I don't remember saying that, but that is 100% what I would have said. You can come over, but I actually want to watch.
I liked it. I appreciate it.
And we enjoyed it quite a bit.
I think so. What was that?
Ellen hosted that year. That was her first year of hosting.
Ellen, that was that big selfie with everybody.
No. The selfie was later. This is when she was like vacuuming in the aisles and stuff.
Oh, right. Smartphones weren't even a thing yet, really.
No, she did a great job both times. But that first time, I remember you and I were both pleasantly surprised. And then The Departed won.
Right.
I know I was rooting for it. I'm not sure if you were.
I'm sure I was. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's Marty. Everyone loves Marty.
It was nice because everyone thought Babel was going to win, and that was like a bullshit Oscar pick.
Oh,
it was
right.
Like, give it to the cool gangster movie. Come on. Yes. And they did.
That was also mixed with, though, of like Babel was kind of the assumed, but like it's Marty's turn. It's Marty's turn.
Yes. But Departed was the best of those movies. If you look at the five that were nominated, Departed is by far the one that should have won. But it was also like he should have won for, Taxi Driver.
It's not right. It's not Scorsese's best movie.
No.
That said, a pretty good Scorsese movie is better than most movies.
I mean, that would be the best movie of 99% of filmmakers. That would be their best movie.
Absolutely. Man, speaking of that era of filmmaking, that reminds me of my wife and I have been playing a game every single day. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's on my wife's phone, and she just pulls it up every day. It gives you a random date, and you have to guess the top 5 box office movies for that day.
Oh, I need to be. You need to tell me what this is because I need to play this.
Yeah, I will get it to you. I will insert it here. Here's the name of it. The game is literally the box office game. It's at boxofficega.me. Box office game.
That reminds me of the Simpsons episode about the Super Bowl, which of course they make those episodes like
Right.
decades in advance. But they knew it was going to be played right after the Super Bowl. So Homer's in the bar and he's like, I'm betting it's going to be and then he puts his beer up to cover his mouth and he's like, Denver Broncos over the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh fuck, The Simpsons is good, man. But so this game, it gives you the date, it gives you the distributor, so you get like, it's a Warner Brothers movie, and you'll get like kind of its current earnings for that week and its total earnings overall. You get that for free. And then there are further hints that you can get, but those cost you points against your high score. So then you can get up to like actors in it, summaries, and you just try to get a good score / solve all of it. We've been doing it. When we get days in the 2006, 2007 territory, when I am working at a movie theater / going to film school, that broad period of time, I don't need the hints. I'm like, I got it. Once I have one, I got it.
Yeah. Literally just going to school, learning about movies, and then going to see movies at the movie theater.
Right.
That's all we were doing.
All we did.
For a whole year.
So it was the first day we played, we got a 2006 one when I was working at a movie theater, and I'm like, oh, this is easy. And then we got a 2013 and I'm like, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
We have a punishment system in place, though. Anything we don't guess, we have to then put on a watch list.
Oh my gosh, you guys are masochists.
Truly, that led. So thankfully, a lot of the ones we've missed so far have been not available on streaming, and we're not paying for them. Just they're on an existing list, and we know we have to watch them. But that did lead us to having to watch 2013's Texas Chainsaw 3D, which TBH wasn't that bad. Kind of liked it.
Oh yeah, a horror. What is that? Is that a sequel to the remake? It's just its own thing. Do we know where continuity wise that lands?
Continuity wise, I mean, it's a nightmare. I think continuity wise, I would describe it as its own thing. It does the 3D thing that I appreciate, though. Like James Cameron, no, I get it. You created a beautiful depth of field. I want Leatherface to throw a chainsaw and for it to like slow mo as it comes by the screen. I love dopey 3D effects, especially watching them a decade later, not in 3D.
Yeah. It would be an interesting conversation. It would be like a whole podcast, probably a whole series. Actually, we should just talk off air. Trying to decide which movie series, or it could even just be horror series, has the most convoluted continuity, the most like inconsistent convoluted continuity. Because you got your Halloweens, your Terminators, your Texas Chainsaws.
Right.
A big one is the X-Men movies.
The X-Men movies it might be the X-Men movies. Where like that's where, compared to like the machine of Marvel, right? Where this shit is, I won't say planned out, but like very carefully product managed, right? Compare that to Fox's X-Men franchise, where the same character appears in two like movies that came out back to back, played by different actors in completely different time periods, not lining up at all.
That might be a strong contender, because that's one of the few where they're claiming it's all in one continuity, right? Like,
right.
Whereas, like, with some of these other ones, like Texas Chainsaw, a lot of those probably are like, we didn't commit to either continuity. It's just kind of a movie, whatever.
Right.
Whereas X-Men, it's like, oh no, these people are popping up in all the movies. This is
right. That said, I kind of, on some level, like appreciate the moxie of X-Men for just like, if it fits, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I mean, could anything be more comic book than that, though?
Exactly.
Like, comic book continuity is always a nightmare. It's like whatever you want to do.
Right. It's just like I don't fucking know. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What of the X-Men movies are you say are actually good and like worth watching today?
Just from memory, 1, 2, both
Yeah, I
good.
agree.
I don't think 3 is as bad as I thought it was when it first came out, because I remember rewatching it years ago and being like, that wasn't terrible. But I wouldn't put that. I would say 1, 2, Days of Futures Past, I really like.
I like that. That one's kind of, I feel like, comes up as a bad one. I remember liking
Really?
it. I liked it when
I like
saw
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
And then
I
I would
agree.
say the Wolverine.
Yeah, I agree.
Not X-Men Origins Wolverine. The Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yes.
I thought was fun. I would not put Logan on there.
I also wouldn't. Oh, I liked First Class, the Matthew Vaughn one.
First Class was fun.
That one gets by more on spunk than like technical achievement, but
right.
It had some moxie.
So there's
end
like
of
4.
List, I guess? Yeah, there's 4.
What did you say? What was the other one?
No, end of list.
Yeah, New Mutants.
Yeah. There's the last, I think, after Days of Future Past, I don't think I saw them anymore.
Oh, man, you didn't see... Oh, I saw them, Brian.
I didn't see Game of Thrones do X-Men 3 again.
Yeah. Oh, Brian.
They just did X-Men 3 again, right?
Dark Phoenix was almost one of those what happened movies.
Sure.
It was because, I mean, I think the budget was in the hundreds of millions, but you're like, none of that's on screen. I mean, it's just like oh, what did we do here, guys? It made the one before that look like a good movie.
Oh, I didn't see that one either. That one's
that's one with Oscar Isaac, who looks like a Power Rangers villain.
Right, I didn't see it, but I remember that.
Apocalypse.
Right. Man, all right. If Marvel wants to do the X-Men, I'll be there.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
That's a better way to put it.
I might not stick around. We'll see.
That's a better way to put it.
I mean, they're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it, of course.
If they want to. I mean, they paid.
Right.
They bought Fox so they could do the X-Men.
Fox for the X-Men.
Make no mistake.
Start fresh, though. Start totally fresh, though, right?
Right, of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't. No, Patrick Stewart, done. Like,
I think the only connection is going to be through the Deadpool, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Oh, right.
Some multiverse bullshit. So whatever. But
right.
Because I mean, they already connected him. They already connected him with that Doctor Strange cameo.
True. That's true. Fuck, I hate these fucking movies, man. Trying to.
I like you just talk yourself into it and out of it in like 3 seconds. I know.
Yep. We got a fucking today. Emily gets award screeners, and so like sometimes we get just a package, a mysterious. I'll come down the stairs, walking the dog, and like, ooh, there's a package, and like, what DVD did we get? I'll be like excitedly ripping it open on my way up the stairs, and often the people who still send DVDs. Every now and again, we got like, oh, great, we wanted to see this. But we get a lot of like shit that's like already available on Netflix or Amazon Prime, or like they'll still send them on DVDs. And I think it's available on Disney Plus, which I have. We just got Wakanda Forever, which I may or may not watch at some point. But they do these like for your consideration. I do not know who the character is on this screener cover, but they're giving it this like prestige, like white background, duotone character, like staring off wistfully, like trying to make it look like a fancy picture, which is not as bad as the Avengers Endgame for your consideration campaign, which is like Robert Downey, like duotone, cold color, Robert Downey Jr. holding the Iron Man mask in front of him, like fucking Hamlet. Like,
that's great. That's great.
It's awful. It's awful. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think we framed that one and gave it to a friend.
That's funny.
But speaking of for your consideration, should we do a quick rundown of Oscar nominations of like the big categories and give
Yeah.
some like,
Yeah, sure.
I think the top of the brain predictions.
People skip over this part of the show anyway, so we might as well talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Right. I'm gonna shoot you the list. I know you have it on your own. But actor in a leading role. Nominees. This doesn't. I'm so stoked about Elvis's nominations because that movie's terrible and I loved it.
I still haven't seen it. Like I said, I'm not a huge Baz Luhrmann guy.
I don't. Oh,
What I've heard
this
has
will
not
not
made me
change
think.
your mind. I think it'll make you angrier. It's so good. It's awful. So this is definitely going. To
I've only
Brendan
seen
Fraser.
one of these performances out of the 5.
Which one of you? Oh, you saw Banshees.
Yeah, Colin Farrell, and he's great. I hope he wins.
I would love that. I think I have not seen The Whale yet, but based on all of the like award season stuff, this is definitely Brendan Fraser, right?
Wait, definitely gonna win?
I think so. He's won several.
I think
right?
it's between him and Colin Farrell is what I've heard.
Okay, got it.
Just because The Whale, The Whale is not like a well-reviewed movie. His performance is well-reviewed, but
Sure. I think he's won a lot of these surrounding awards, though. I don't know, though. He could get Michael Keaton. I still can't believe that fucking Birdman. Well, I don't. It's not quite that level, but.
yeah, fuck. Oscars fucked up a few years in a row. They fucked up. Michael Keaton didn't give him his Oscar, and then I think it was that same year or the next year they fucked up and didn't give fucking Stallone Rocky.
That was shocking. I was similarly floored. Nothing for Uncut Gems. Nothing.
Right. I mean, I get it because it's not.
I don't get it. I don't fucking.
I'm talking about historically Oscar-wise. It's not an Oscar like.
Sure.
But they've been drifting in the direction of like cooler the last few years.
Right.
So you would have. That was also a really tough year. Wasn't that the year of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and
sure.
Parasite?
I think you're right. That was a packed year. You are correct.
Still, that was better than a few of the movies that got nominated.
You are correct. Actor in a supporting role, I think everything everywhere all at once is going to have a good night, and Quan I think is going to have a very good night. I think he's had a very good season.
I mean, Judd Hirsch was fantastic in The Fabelmans, but that's like a 10-minute, if that.
Right.
Barry Keoghan and Brendan Gleeson are both great, but usually that like cancels out when you have two people in the same
Splits
movie.
Splits a vote.
Yeah. I haven't heard of or seen Causeway, but
I also don't know what Causeway is. Actress in a leading role. I assume this is between Blanchett and Yeoh, right?
I believe that's the case. Yeah.
I like both. I really, really, really liked Tar.
What if Blonde wins?
What a chaos pick here. Diarmas nomination for Blonde. Have not seen it. I can't quite work up the nerve to sit down for it.
I haven't seen it either, but I love that they're choosing chaos. Real quick, I have a real quick thought about Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once, who popularly played Short Round in the Indiana Jones movie. Is that not the most obvious way for them to go once Ford is done, once this last movie comes out? He is a stuntman. You can't recast Indiana Jones. They've already said they're not going to. I know that maybe they will, but like Short Round, just hand the torch off to Short Round.
I didn't even think of that. That's incredible.
That would please everyone. Who would be upset about that? Because
no one.
You're like fan bros who are like, yeah, would be like, yeah, okay, Short Round.
That's Short Round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. And he's about to be an Oscar-winning actor.
No, exactly. No one would be upset if Short Round took over. No one.
All right. I've never been more on board with. Actress in a supporting role. I don't. We've got Shu and Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, double nominated. Banshee, Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin, I really enjoyed. I didn't see The Whale or Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I don't really have a prediction here.
Me either. Although this could be one of those, like, if Banshees or Everything has a big night, one of those could take it.
That's true.
But Everything is nominated twice, so there's another canceling out situation.
Who knows? That said, Everything Everywhere's had a great season. Animated feature film, I actually think is going to be interesting. People really like Pinocchio. People really like Marcel with the Shell with Shoes on. People really, really like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I have seen none of them.
Yeah, me either.
I think Emily and I have, don't get me wrong, I no qualms with animation. It's just for kids, but we do have a baby on the way. My wife is about to pop at any moment, and we've been a little like, we're gonna be watching a lot of children's entertainment probably. It can wait.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not in a rush.
No.
Maybe in fact we save the good ones.
Yeah, you're going to be watching a lot of crap movies. I mean, I guess you do
right.
anyway.
That is true. It's, oh god, we saw a commercial for like Disney on Ice when we were watching TV, and we can't wait for those opportunities to come up, and we can't wait to draw straws for which one of us gets to get high.
You need like a third, like bring a babysitter along.
That's it. For all three of us.
Yeah.
That's the move. Let's see. I'm just kind of browsing through the big ones. Unless you have any hot takes on costume design or cinematography.
No.
I actually haven't seen a lot of the cinematography ones. I assume that's going to go to All Quiet on the Western Front.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it either.
That was kind of a surprise nominee, I thought.
Right, yeah, and it's kind of all over the place too. Roger Deakins on Empire of Light, which I haven't seen yet, but the Deeks, baby.
I'm surprised. I guess not surprised. I thought the Batman might be a cinematography.
I would have liked that. I'm more. We'll talk about where I'm upset that didn't show up.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy.
Which, you know what? Now is as good a time as any. Know the Batman on original score, which was the best part of that movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Great score. Fantastic score.
Although
that guy's won before. Giacchino.
Right.
Giacchino.
Yeah. Let's see. Original song. I only am familiar with Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick and Natu Natu from RRR. Gotta say, it would be fun if RRR won. But I'd put my money on
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga or whatever the song is from Black Panther, which I'm not familiar with at all.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. I haven't heard it, but that's a good call.
That especially, like, that doesn't have like the same kind of Oscars like shoe-in that the original movie had. That might be where it kind of shines that night.
Also another score should have been nominated, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. But we'll get to that. Gets almost overshadowed by the incredible thing that happened to Top Gun Maverick. But before we get to that, real fast, directing. I think this is a pretty. I think there is a big snub here. Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonough. We got the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Steve for The Fablemans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Ostlund for Triangle of Sadness, which I have not seen yet.
Me either.
I think we're looking at the Daniels here. I think that'd be my guess.
It's tough.
I'm putting money on Everything Everywhere having a very, very good night.
Interesting. It could. I also wouldn't be shocked if Stevie Boy got the got it just because it's a movie about him and movie about movies, which they traditionally really
They-
like.
I don't know. It's kind of landed with a thud, even though I loved the movie.
I mean, it got fantastic reviews, but yeah, it didn't make a lot of money.
Right. And then awards wise, it hasn't won a lot so far.
He did win at the Globes,
Right.
but that's not necessarily an indicator of anything. The Globes is kind of bullshit.
Right. So who knows?
It's tough
And then
because you still have like a month and a half out. Like,
right. Things could change. Things change.
Will change. Yeah.
Yes. Who saw Coda coming? Like
I know,
coming
right?
that hard. And then finally, Best Picture. The thing we said wouldn't. Sorry. Real fast. Back to directing. Sarah Polley, Women Talking. I think that's a very big snub for directing.
It would have been nice to have a female director in there.
Literally one.
I haven't seen that yet, but it's high on my list. I just haven't had the opportunity.
I think it's a beautifully shot movie.
Awesome.
It's a great screenplay too.
She was nominated for the screenplay.
Right. Which, speaking of screenplays, I was going to go on to Best Picture, but I forgot about screenplays. The thing I went to school for. Adapted, we've got Glass Onion, we've got Women Talking, Living, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Top Gun Maverick. Even as a big fan of that movie, what's going on here?
By 5 people. 5 people are nominated for the Oscar for Top Gun Maverick. Screenplay by Aaron Kruger and Eric Warren Singer and Christopher McQuarrie. Story by Peter Craig and Justin Marks.
Also, adapted from what? Star Wars?
If it is a sequel, it has to be adapted.
I'm just making a joke about it.
That's funny. Which is
the end of Star Wars.
The same reason that Glass Onion is nominated as adapted.
Right. Though they have a interesting, I've never noticed this before, a distinct difference between screenplay by and written by in the credits. Yes. Which is interesting. But I think I would like to see Women Talking take this. I think it's a great script. I think the visuals are more exciting than the script, but it's a very, very, very good script. I have a physical copy lying around here. They sent it to my wife, and I should read it. And then original screenplay, we got Banshees, we got Everything Everywhere, Fableman's Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. I believe this is, just the Best Picture noms. All Best Picture noms. Do you have a guess here?
Banshees, probably.
I'd love to see Banshees. I'm defaulting to Everything Everywhere, even though I've cooled on that movie a lot since it came out. I need to see it again, I think, and I like it. I liked it great. It was kind of. It kind of feels like it came out. I got very swept up in kind of the excitement for it. And it felt like it had a little bit of an uphill battle to get people's attention, because of a weird concept, a more unknown cast. And it kind of felt like a little bit of a chip on its shoulder. Like, you should see this fucking movie. And now people have seen it. Now it's getting a lot of recognition. I'm a little like, all right, everybody cool your jets.
It's not Top Gun Maverick, okay?
It's not fucking Top Gun Maverick. Which, speaking of Top Gun Maverick, Best Picture, the thing we said wouldn't happen. Avatar: Way of the Water and Top Gun Maverick both nominated for Best Picture. Ba-boing.
Yes, both with approximately negative 10% chance of winning.
0. Just
this
not
is the
happening.
Nomination is the victory.
That is exactly how far it's gonna go. That said, if Top Gun Maverick wins Best Picture, I will rip my fucking shirt off on my couch and go full like Eagles have won,
celebrating like the women's soccer championship.
Yes,
like tearing. That's great.
I will vandalize my own apartment in victory.
I mean, isn't it? It's ranked choice voting, right?
I think so.
Oh, so hopefully just everyone puts that second and we just get.
My actual prediction is Everything Everywhere. I really liked Tar. As I'll say again.
I don't see Tar winning. I like Tar. I think
Right.
you're probably right. I think it's probably Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I also wouldn't be shocked for Banshees. And I wouldn't be shocked for Fablemans, even though it's cool. We still have a month and a half. And I just feel like
Right.
movies
All right.
about they love their movies about
They-
movies. They love
do. They do. If we should, I'm not going to put something down on paper. I'm just going to say, if Elvis happens to pull one out, I will be the hardest laughing motherfucker in the world. I will literally fall off my couch laughing. My mom loves Elvis. The movie, the film Elvis, loved it. Won't stop it. Was so excited it got nominated for Best Picture. Not a cell in her brain is going, it's a ridiculous movie for crazy people. And like, I don't know how, I don't want to like hurt her feelings of like, that's a crazy person movie. My mom also, with a straight face, was telling me how much she enjoyed the John Travolta film Gotti. Which your laughter is indicating you were aware that is the worst fucking movie ever made.
I haven't seen it, but that's the reputation. How did your mom see Gotti? It's like a Clockwork Orange. Like they just like strapped her down and pinned her eyes open.
She was like excited to see it. I think maybe rented it and like paid money for it, and then was like telling me like, "Oh, I loved Gotti." Like, what are you talking about? There's like 3 framing devices in that movie. There's like 3. It's a Russian nesting doll of framing devices. It's
wait. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. I say that, occasionally, sometimes when you watch something bad. Gotti definitely is on my actual top 3 worst things ever made.
Whoa.
It is.
And you watch some garbage, Brian.
Pure garbo. I am a fucking dumpster diving raccoon, motherfucker. So my friends and I, we all watch a lot of bad movies. Like our social, like when people come over to watch a movie, we watch a bad movie. And like we're talking through it, drinking beers, all that stuff. Gotti, stone cold arms crossed silence. Just like fucking shoot me in the back of the head. This is awful. Awful. Just absolutely soul-sucking misery for 2 fucking hours.
I wonder what Gotti has on Letterboxd. Hold on.
It's gotta be a disaster.
I'm checking it out. Gotti. 2018's Gotti. 1.5. I didn't know you could get a 1.5. Wow.
It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, but there's a framing device where he's like he's recounting his story in prison. Like he's got the phone, the glass wall. I don't remember who he's talking to, but he's talking to a character. And then there's another framing device though, where Gotti is on a bridge at night talking to camera to like the audience, breaking the fourth wall. It's such a piece of shit, dude. I've seen Cats 12 times, at least, possibly more. I've seen Cats an abysmal number of times. So believe me, Gotti's bad.
Well, then I'll definitely not watch it tonight.
Come down in the hole with me, Zach. I'm in this hole. I dug this hole. Come join me. What are you doing up there? There's nothing up there. Come down in the Gotti hole.
It smells like garbage down there, Brian. You're covered in garbage.
No, it's good. You'll like it. My wife and I will joke while high because like we're very similar in our little gremlinness, and we've made each other worse. Is the thing. We have not improved one another. We've simply, and especially the pandemic, like during lockdowns, not having anything to do but smoke weed and watch movies. We went down some rabbit holes, and we'd have a joke of like, digging our own like fucking stupid hole that we're in. And one of us would have a stupid idea and the other just being like, that's too far down the hole. That's too far down the hole. I can't go down that hole with you. And Gotti's pretty far down that hole, gotta say. Any other Oscar thoughts?
No, do we know who's hosting?
Not yet. I don't think we'll know for a little while. Though, I gotta say, I've enjoyed the no hosts when they've done it.
Didn't we get a host last year? No.
We got a host last year.
We got 3 hosts.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was rough.
I thought they did announce we were getting a host this year.
I'm sure we are.
Hold on.
But I liked no host. I thought that worked fine. A little like Steven Soderbergh.
Jimmy Kimmel's hosting. Jimmy Kimmel's hosting. I'll take it. I think after the Will Smith thing, they were like, we need someone to take control of this fucking show.
How many times will it come up?
The Will Smith thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
at least one.
Yeah, 1 for sure. What's the over-under? 3?
Yeah, I think so.
I would go over. I'll take the over because the people accepting awards get to say things too.
Oh, man, you are right.
I mean, did you see Eddie Murphy brought it up at the Golden Globes?
Yes. Which, I don't know. I'm a little in the TikTok age of like, are we still talking about that? Like, that's last year's joke, Eddie. But
yeah, Brian, if that happened in the 90s, it would have been... I just can't... It was...
ludicrous.
It's only not... I mean, it was a big deal, but it would have been so much bigger of a deal because it's happening now that the Oscars are like kind of not super popular, but...
Right. Crazy.
I could not believe my fucking eyes.
It was so funny. It like we've talked about this on the show before, but I got a text. So I was not watching on broadcast. I was watching like ABC stream, which was probably a minute or two late. And so I get a text from you first of like, so Will Smith's going to jail?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is that in reference to? And then it happened. I think they cut. Actually, my broadcast by the time it got to me with the delay, I think they cut out a lot of it.
Yeah. When I saw it, the volume dropped, but you could still see everything.
Got it. Those in the live broadcast, the booths, they are kind of amazing at how quick they can like do shit. We there was an old Gethard show we did. I think this was one of the seasons I worked on. I don't think it was the one season I didn't. But we got a control board person, a live sensor person, and did a thing of like, gonna try to trip you up. They had a button live on our studio. Didn't flinch one time. They just knew it was coming.
Really? It's
incredible. Could just predict it. Didn't flinch.
Wow.
Crazy.
Love it. Are those episodes of that show available online?
Let's see. A lot of them are on YouTube, and a lot of them are available on HBO Max.
Oh, fun.
The Chris Gethard Show, highly recommend. I think a lot of the HBO Max stuff is the season I didn't work on. When the show went to True TV, I left the show.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot on YouTube, and there's a lot there, and it's a lot of fun. Zach, any other thoughts? We're kind of running long on this segment. I don't know if we want to hold what we've been watching for another time and move on.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Great. Let's head to the recap.
On the WB Wednesday, everyone has something to hide.
I've always been in love with you.
Everyone has something to fear.
The meteor shower.
Thought I wanted to tell you.
That I heard a human.
Fresh Smallville on the WB Wednesday night.
This week we watched Scare. It's the 10th episode in the 4th season of Smallville and the 76th episode overall. It aired December 1st, 2004. Lana shows up at Clark's loft wearing a red dress and heels and asks Clark for help because she believes that Jason is lying to her. The wiki here, I'm of course reading from smallville.fandom.com. The wiki here has put all of the dream text in green.
But that's kind of a spoiler.
It is I don't think you're supposed to I think only our listeners are experiencing the episode via the wiki.
Right. I guess
you're not going to believe what happened on the Smallville wiki this week, Zach.
Also, some points in the episode, it is supposed to be a surprise, but you'd have to be a fucking idiot not to know this was a dream. From the first shot.
The first fucking shot. It's like, and we've done this so many times now. I'm just like, wow, we're doing another fucking dream thing?
Yeah.
Got another one of these?
Another dream episode and another fucking like virus, like a weird pandemic in Smallville episode.
Right. Okay, Lana then admits that she shouldn't have given up on the two of them, and they start making out. Jason then barges in and beats up Clark, knocking him out. Lana stabs Jason, ... The green text goes away, black text, and it is revealed that Jason is dreaming as he falls off the balcony at the Talon. This shot looked dopey, right? Of Jensen Ackles on a green, clearly maybe even standing on against a green screen. That said, as we're like kind of moving out of a dream, I don't know, I maybe didn't hate it once I got the full context of it. Also, it's 2004 and that probably looked fine on.
Well, first of all, I don't know if he falls because he like moves like 30 feet across the Talon, like from the balcony to this table. It was like he had a running start and jumped off. Also, Jason has now died.
Jason's dead.
Jason's dead. He fell you could survive a 2-story fall, but not like directly on your spine like he is. Like
it's
into a table.
Is Clark actually superpowered, or is something in the Smallville water that just makes everyone fucking invincible?
Is that a concussion, Brian?
Oh man, that is a difficult. I'm gonna rule no. This is up for debate, but I think he lands on his motherfucking spine.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else in the episode, once they get the illness, will pass out. So that is not him passing out is not proof of concussion. So we don't.
Right.
I guess it would be hard to believe if he didn't have a concussion from that fall, but we don't have proof of it.
We don't have proof. It's
another question, and this is a really important one. This will affect how we score the rest of this episode.
All right.
Clark, in Jason's dream, when he beats him up, gets a concussion. Do things that happen in dreams count?
Okay, hear me out. Here's my thoughts, my thought process. Yes, I believe they count. Not because we are not keeping track of how many diegetic concussions take place in the fiction of Smallville. We are keeping track of how often the creators of Smallville go to that well.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I'm so glad you feel that way. I felt the same way.
Great.
Because, like, if it was car crashes, we would definitely count it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Agreement. Great minds. That's great
one
minds.
Concussion. Brian, I have a question.
Yes, Zach.
Can you have a dream where you're not there? Because Jason isn't there for the first 2 minutes
Yeah,
of that
right.
dream.
I guess I can't confirm. I've had dreams that kind of weren't about me. Kind of
Right.
like it was a movie I watched or
I
something.
guess you could say he was watching from like the rafters or something, or from somewhere else in the barn.
I think you can have a dream that's kind of
You can get away with that.
Right. I also have a question here. I don't know how this works. So, Lana's apartment, you can reach it from the Talon. Like you go inside the Talon, head up those stairs, and her apartment is there, I guess, because you see her come out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It has to have an outside entrance to be like a legal apartment, right?
Does it?
I think so. I don't think you can have like a legal. I guess it doesn't matter if she like. In order to be like I think there has to be an outside entrance separate from the business. Though maybe from the back. I think there's an entrance to the back.
But if she is the owner of this establishment,
she's not.
Oh yeah, she fucking sold it.
Right.
Oh. Wait, are they breaking the law?
Maybe whoever's leasing it to her, which would be Lex, I guess, right?
Lex is leasing apartment that's not up to code so that the high school girl he's in love with can live with her adult boyfriend who was teaching at the school she goes to.
Lex, ain't looking good, buddy. Saying looking good. I just said that like I know anything about fucking apartment law.
I hope someone claps back at you somewhere.
Yeah, right. I hope not. Couldn't you imagine a less interesting thing to be corrected on? If you correct me, my response will simply be O. H-O, period. No expansion. No, like, oh, thank you for informing me of that. Oh, let me talk bullshit on my podcast. It's my podcast. I have the microphone. I can say whatever untrue thing I want. Jason is in a coma at the hospital and is deteriorating quickly. Chloe and Clark do some digging and discover that Jason had a job interview at LuthorCorp that morning. They go to the plant to investigate and split up. Clark runs into Lex. And I actually really like what Rosenbaum is doing here. I kind of give a little mental, like, good job, Michael, check.
Like, what did you like about it? I mean, I also liked it, but
it was so the next sentence here is he questions what Jason was doing that morning. Lex is high strung and short tempered. I thought it was a very it was kind of the first time I think we've seen this in a very believable way of like this 16-year-old that I hang out with sometimes.
Yes.
You can't be here. What? I'm doing adult stuff now. I don't have time to hang out with you.
Right. He wasn't in disbelief that Clark had gotten on the premises. He was just like, oh my God, of course. Like, what the fuck?
Right. It's a side of Lex. Yes.
Go ahead. Finish that.
It's a side of Lex we haven't seen much of, and I like it.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting more and more frustrated with Clark.
Right.
Well, first of all, they take Jason to the Smallville Medical Center where I can only imagine he's being treated for strep throat. Then they're like, let's figure out where he was. So they go to Lana's apartment, as Clark and Chloe, and then go through his shit. And like Chloe checks his phone and then finds out he had an appointment at LuthorCorp. The sound effects when he is looking on his phone, it's like from a sci-fi movie. It's ridiculous.
I didn't catch that.
So they get to LuthorCorp plant and they get to like the gate. And Chloe just has a card that she swipes. And they go inside. How does she get that card? Where does she get that card?
She has a source. She runs a high school newspaper, Zach.
Is the implication that that's her dad's card? Because he got fired like a season ago.
Yeah, God, I have no idea. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, right. A season ago, I got laid off from a job a couple years ago, and my key card was not working while I was still upstairs.
Yeah, right, exactly. Also, like, time is of the essence. They drive all the way to the LuthorCorp plant, like walk on and then look for Lex. Like, you're friends with this motherfucker. Call him on the phone. You know the CEO. Why are you breaking into LuthorCorp?
I didn't even think of that. Lex tells Clark that he himself didn't meet with Jason, declaring that he's doing everything he can to help him. He orders a security guard to escort Clark out of the building and storms off.
Well, he also offers to help Jason by
Right. Calling a specialist in Metropolis. We haven't heard
yeah.
that one in a while.
That's our first specialist of season 4.
Wow, look at us. Chloe is walking down a dark corridor when there is a sudden power failure. She finds a spooky basement room. We've switched to green. Hint, hint. She finds a... Should I change my reading? She finds a spooky basement room with a woman sitting in the middle. Her back... I'm going to put some...
Put some sound effects. Yeah, do some
I'm going to
distortion.
put some spooky music under...
Great idea.
She finds a spooky basement room with a woman sitting in the middle, her back to the door, wearing a straitjacket. The woman cryptically warns that Chloe can't escape. None of the women in their family have, and tells Chloe that she is her mother. Chloe touches the woman's shoulder and is horrified to see a nightmarish version of herself bound in a straitjacket and begins screaming. Spooky.
I'm pretty confident they filmed that scene with her mom in the set for the torch because
Oh, man.
in the hallway you can see red lockers.
Well, those are the mental asylum lockers, Zach, where all the mental patients keep their things.
That makes sense. Yeah. Although it's a dream, so Chloe could just be mixing in the torch. That checks out.
It becomes clear Chloe is hallucinating as Clark and the security guard find her. Clark knocks out the guard and takes Chloe to the hospital. That might be a concussion if Superman.
Wait, he knocks out the guard?
I didn't remember that in the episode, but that's what it says here.
I don't remember that either. I'll have to go back and check the tape on that one. I'm not marking that off.
Yeah, all right. So I don't know if this is a thing that they'll say in the wiki, but in the dialogue, they mention that this sickness is showing you your worst fear, which is television writer for We Can Explore Internal Character.
Yes.
But
how would the characters know that that's what the illness does? No one's had it and come out of it yet.
Right. I think Lex says it at one point, though. It shows you your worst fear. And that's a thing. That's a trope I think you see a lot. You see it in like Harry Potter of like the thing you're most afraid of. Do you have a thing you're like most afraid of? You're like...
I mean, like, if it is my real worst fear, I don't want to think about it or talk about it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm sure I do. I would never want to find out what my worst fear is.
I doubt it's like... It's spiders, and that's the thing I'm most afraid of. I'm afraid of a lot of things, I think. Right. And like, I don't know if they get quantified into like a ranked order.
It definitely wouldn't be like worst fear. Definitely wouldn't be like, oh, the girl I like finds out my secret.
I think Jason's lived a very privileged life, and his worst fear is that
yeah,
Clark might smooch Lana. Though I guess it's that that fear was more around Lana discovering Jason's mysterious cryptic secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck do I know? At the lab within the facility, the reason for Lex's irritability is revealed. He is meeting with a team that was working on an experiment with meteor rocks and unconscious subjects. A bacteria became airborne, and several of the workers are unconscious. Lex orders the project, contracted with the military, dismantled. Even after the lead doctor, Dr. Ford, points out that the project is worth millions of dollars. Lex says it isn't worth people's deaths and tells him that Jason is infected as well. Dr. Ford confirms the bacteria is not contagious. It is only transmitted through inhalation. He is working on an antidote, but it won't be ready for another 5 hours. It's interesting. We don't see a lot of Smallville episodes where the threat is sort of a more isn't like a person that
Right.
Clark can throw into a machine down in these mysterious Smallville tunnels.
Right.
I can't tell if I like this episode or not. I don't know. I haven't decided.
It's middling. It's middling.
Yeah.
It clearly cost a lot. They used a lot of money on this one.
That's the thing. It's like you spent this much money and it's like not great.
I do like Lex in this episode. He's very noble in this episode.
Yeah, good Lex episode. Very good Lex episode. Clark tells his parents what he learned, and Lana arrives at their house. She is upset and says she can't sit around watching her loved ones die. Just a pretty standard Lana scene. The other thing is, I was thinking of this while the opening was happening. We've talked about it before, but we desperately you have to either make Lana Clark a thing or drop it. This occasionally bringing it back up, they don't have scenes together this season. It's nothing. It is dead in the water cold. And then we just saw this season, someone he does actually have a flirtatious chemistry with.
Such good chemistry with Lois. Oh.
And then you want to bring this Lana stuff back, and it's nothing. It's just dead fish, nothing.
I think it's just like they give a pump to the chest once in a while to keep that heart beating because they know they're going to bring it back to life towards the end of the season every year. That's what they do.
Right.
They want to just keep enough there that we're going to go back to it.
It's and maybe it gets better, but right now it's boring.
It's not good. Right. I think they had the better idea at the beginning of the season when it was we're moving on from each other. Right. Yeah, now this part is not great, but I think when they go back to it, when they really focus on it, it's better. But
I don't remember being this annoyed by it when I was watching it the first time, but also I was younger. And also I was watching it in much more rapid succession.
Right. And also I think both of us were much more invested in Clark Lana than we are now. We're like, come on, guys, work it out.
Right. I think you're right. A little bit of self-insert pining, you know?
Oh, for sure.
It's if Clark can figure it out, maybe Lana will somehow be my girlfriend. At the prison, the warden reveals that Lionel's conviction has been overturned by a mysterious person with powerful influence, and that he can go free. He chooses to remain in the prison as it's where he can do the most good, but the warden says the prison is not the place where he can come and go as he pleases. It's very funny to use this episode just as and we're done with Lionel in prison.
Yeah. Oh man. This is a bold move on their part. Not getting him out of prison, but doing it with one line of dialogue, which is literally someone pulled some strings.
And for a billionaire, I buy it, I guess. But it's just, and we're done. We're done.
He's in jail for murder.
Right.
It's been said and clarified in the show, even in this episode, that he tried to buy his way out of that and use his power and couldn't. and that he isn't even up for parole yet. And somehow someone pulled some strings and he's just free to go.
Fucking
And we're
stupid.
never going to know what those strings were. And it doesn't really matter, but it is like a...
There's a tease here. Are they just going to drop it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We will find out who it was, but we will never find out how they got him out.
Got it. Okay. I was wondering, like, did we not even find out who it was?
No, it's literally the Smallville writers just waving a white flag to the audience, being like, okay, we need to get him out of prison. Don't worry about it.
A part of me kind of loves that, though, of, everyone talks now in the way like kind of Marvel has created this massively like managed machine of like everyone thinks everything is all planned out, and like nope, sometimes you're just like, this is the week we get Lionel out of prison. I hope we come up with something by then, and if not, someone pulled some strings.
Yeah, the entire season 3 was about getting him in jail. And how hard that was. They get him in jail, and now it's like, nah, it's fine. He's out.
It's fine.
He's good now. So
He's
he gets
good
to go
now.
out. There is a deleted scene right before he goes to see the warden with Lionel interacting with some prisoners.
Okay.
And I don't want to pick on someone who was cut from an episode of television, but I guess the scene is kind of superfluous, but it features some appalling acting.
Oh boy.
Like, I'm like, that definitely did not help the cause of keeping this scene in the episode. Like, ooh.
Well, if I can find that deleted scene on the internet somewhere, it is here. And we'll find out together, I guess, if that's there or not. If you just heard anything or nothing.
I'm really confused, though, because when Lionel's talking to the warden,
yeah,
saying that he's been a bad person, he says, I'm guilty, not of the crime I've been convicted of, but of many other crimes.
But also the crime you've been convicted of.
Right. And I don't understand, because Lionel's supposed to be good right now. Like, I believe that he actually is.
Right.
So why would he lie about that? Are they saying he didn't kill his parents? I'm confused.
I mean, let's be real here. Even if he's good, he's stuck. This is an opportunity. And like, hey man, if you confess to it, it's over. So like, you can always come back and confess.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the writers weren't sure if he was good or not yet. Like if it was an act or not. I don't know. It was interesting. I don't understand what the point of that line was.
Right. Yeah, you could have just not, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, checking the weather patterns, Clark and Lana find the presence of a mysterious cloud originating over the lab and seeming to spread. As soon as Clark leaves, Lana is hallucinating that she is in a room with the dead bodies of her mother and her father.
I'm pretty sure these are the same people who played them in the pilot.
Wow, and get fucking slammed dunked on by a fucking meteor. What's important here is she unwraps, she reveals the corpse. Dad goes over. Mom! You know who's not present? Aunt Nell, who's raised her since she was a child. Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it's mom, dad, Chloe, and Jason.
Yep.
Clark's not there.
Nope.
Lex isn't there.
Nope.
Pete Ross sure as fuck isn't there.
Pete Ross left Smallville and everyone forgot about him.
Yes, immediately.
Let's see. She's in a room with the dead bodies of her mother and her father and her friends and herself as a corpse, warning that everyone will leave her. Lana starts screaming and Clark catches her as she faints. Dr. Ford comes up with an antidote, but it contains an element of the bacteria. Lex takes responsibility and goes in to administer the antidote. It kills a patient, but not before he indirectly rips Lex's suit, exposing him.
A plot point which does not come back in the
Nope.
remainder of the episode.
Nope.
Think about that, Brian.
I'm thinking about it. It's dumb.
He goes into this room. He puts on the hazmat suit. He goes in. It was a whole big thing. The guy's like, "It's not safe." He's like, "They're my employees. Plus, I get to wear a cool hazmat suit." And then Lex and the guy go in there. His suit rips, and we commercial break on that.
I was just thinking, like, I don't remember it. I don't remember that happening because it's so quick.
And then they make a big deal out of it. And then Lex does not get the illness in the episode. He tests the vaccine, which gives him the effects of it.
You're right. You are right. So Lex goes. Sorry.
Also, some questionable ethics, just like pumping a random vaccine into a dude. They killed the guy, Brian.
They killed the guy.
That guy died right after they gave him the bad vaccine. I mean, that's the end of LuthorCorp. That's the end of LuthorCorp. The CEO.
No one has to know. You'll keep that one. We'll just keep that one under the rug.
Yeah, it was a fertilizer accident.
They happen all the time down here.
So the very next scene, you're about to say it, but we cut to, I assume after the commercial break, Lex walking into the hospital. After he's just been exposed to this thing, he just no mask, just walk right into the hospital.
Which they think isn't contagious, but like, based on what? Based on what?
People are dropping like fucking flies.
Clark and Chloe found the fucking cloud.
Right, yeah.
Lex goes to the hospital and finds out how far the infection has spread and reveals the nature of the disease. Clark arrives with an unconscious Lana. Then a series of explosions rock the hospital. Clark looks out the window as another meteor shower rains onto Smallville. A meteor bombards him with kryptonite. He tells Lana that he's from another planet, and she is appalled. Disgusted by his true origins, Lana kills him with a shard of kryptonite. When Clark wakes back into reality, suddenly cured, Clark hurries home to find his parents have collapsed. Here, when Clark wakes up in the hospital, it's like, "I'm fine," and the doctor's like, "Hey, you're the first one to come out of this. Don't go anywhere." And he's like, "I gotta go." And because it's Smallville Medical, this doctor's like, "All right."
Well, they're overwhelmed. I mean, he doesn't.
I guess that's fair.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, there's literally no reason for Lex to go to the hospital at that moment in time. Correct. He is managing a crisis at his plant. He just got exposed to this thing. And why is he going to the hospital? There's no, just to check on things?
You can't have a doctor come to you. You're Lex fucking
You
Luthor.
can make a call. You could send someone. I know you have people.
I'm going to go pop by Smallville Medical. Just get checked out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, there's this crisis, but okay. Lana, the reason she kills Clark in his nightmare is because when she finds out he's an alien, she realizes that he brought the meteor shower that killed her parents, which we both agree was a great stroke by the writers in the first season to add another reason why Clark can't tell her.
Right.
I'm bringing this up because when he finally does tell her in this show, that is never addressed.
Funny.
Never brought up once, as far as I can remember.
Funny. Very funny.
Never like, "Sorry I killed your parents."
I think Clark has the rocks killed your parents. My whole planet exploded.
Exactly, yeah. And
My
they shouldn't have been
also
standing there looking at it.
5 full seconds.
And then in the dream sequence, when the meteors hit the parking lot, I counted 2 car wrecks.
Wow, good eye. Great.
Yeah. Possibly 3, but only 2 confirmed.
All right.
That's the first 2 of this season, Brian. We are way behind on car wrecks.
Wow. More interpersonal character drama than car versus explosion drama? Fuck off.
Like I said, they just realized concussions are cheaper than car crash.
A car crash is just an expensive way to get a concussion.
Should we need to create a graph by the time we're done with this season to season?
Clark then confronts Lex. Clark believes his blood may be the cure since he is the only survivor so far. But Dr. Ford points out that testing for the factors responsible will take too long. Hey, also, Clark, you literally can't have your hair cut. How we getting in there, buddy?
I just love that he's like, maybe I can help. They're going to figure out how to use you to help in an hour or whatever they have.
Science. Get on it. Lex states that their only hope is the new antidote, which is yet to heat to the proper temperature. Dr. Ford argues that the antidote is potentially lethal and needs to be tested before it's given to any victims. Clark secretly superheats the I'll get into it when it comes up.
Okay.
Clark secretly superheats the antidote while they're arguing, and the antidote is ready for testing hours ahead of schedule. Did you read like a knowing-ish look from Lex of like you did something weird?
Oh, I didn't see that, but
I don't know. I don't know if I was adding that to it. But it's now hours ahead, and they never once are like malfunctioning equipment.
I do have questions about this heating process.
Yes. Does it have to do with the boner Clark must have? Clark, there is a town-wide tragedy happening.
And you're fucking hard as a rock. In my
fucking
plan.
Heating up vaccines? Clark, the fuck?
I just can imagine Rosenbaum like playing like, wow, how'd it get so hot so quick? And Clark, why do you have an
Nothing, don't look at me!
Oh shit! The side effect.
It's whatever the bacteria does. It also gives you a raging hard on.
Do they have to heat up vaccines in real life? Is that a thing?
It'd be a weird thing to make up. I mean, I guess I truly have no idea.
They're heating it to 1,000. Is that right?
I don't remember the number, but that sounds as good as any.
I can heat up my fucking oven to 450 in like 3 minutes.
It was something Kelvin. They said, I don't know what Kelvin is.
Okay. So it's gotcha. I don't know why they would have to heat it up that much. That seems like some writer bullshit, but
it probably was, in fact, writer bullshit. Rather than risk testing it on someone else, Lex takes the serum himself. Lex begins hallucinating a future vision of himself as president, launching nuclear missiles and destroying the world. This is just season 1 footage. This is the same footage we saw in season 1.
Okay. It's a combination of season 1 footage, and I believe, and I didn't do research, this is just from memory, from seeing it, a shot from Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
I also thought it might be that.
Yeah.
They were both Warner Brothers. I also literally thought, I had the exact thought. Is this from Terminator 3?
I believe that shot is from Terminator 3. I don't know for sure, but we will find out in the notes.
If it is, it's definitely in the notes.
So after watching this episode, I pulled up on my DVD the deleted scenes. There's a reason this is all cobbled together from other episodes and other just another movie, because the original Lex Luthor dream sequence was a fucking disaster.
Tell me all about it.
Okay, so it starts. We're in a wedding. We're in Lex's office, but it's like made up for a wedding.
Okay.
He is the groom standing next to the bride. We cannot see the bride's face. And we're zooming in, and they just do their vows. I'm assuming it's Lana. Lex pulls back the veil, It's his mother.
No.
Hold on.
Smallville, no.
Hold on. And Lex says, "Oh, Mom, you're alive," and he gives her a hug. And then he realizes, oh, something's off. And he pulls back, and she's covered in blood. And she says, "You made me do it," or something. Kill Julian, I assume. Right. And then Lex is like, "No, I didn't." And then he starts strangling her.
Sorry, what now? Sorry, rewind. Take that again. So it sounds like they filmed that. Someone saw it and went, "We can't do this."
Yes, 100%. But I'm just wondering, what was the logic in the first place? Why is he marrying his mother?
Well, we did learn he's got a type in the previous episode.
True. That's true. That's was this even like the network? Like, you're not putting that shit in there. Get the fuck out of here.
Someone said no to this. We're not doing this. I do not know if that happened on the network end. I don't know if that happened on production end. But someone said, a note came down to the edit like, "Hey, what do we got?"
Yeah. I mean,
because someone said no.
That's from a different TV show. That is not from Smallville. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So bizarre.
Okay, so the antidote is successful, and Lex snaps out of it. Okay, and which they immediately treat as like, this is going great. Great, the antidote works great. All you know right now is the antidote worked on Lex. That's all you know. And also, Clark is very confident, like, "You're gonna be fine." How do you fucking know?
I also love how naive we were about vaccines in 2004.
Right now, I feel like I know fucking everything.
Well, just what I mean is, like,
no, I know.
The big plot of the big, like, victory of the episode is, if we get this vaccine, everyone will be cured. When in reality, they would take the vaccine into that room where guys are dying, and one would be like, "No, stop. Vaccines are bullshit." No. Has it been tested? Has it been thoroughly tested?
To be fair, in that room, the vaccine has been tested on one guy 2 minutes ago, and also is ready hours ahead of schedule, and no one's questioned why. I think the talent mix is unquestionably very pro-vaccine. Maybe it's okay to question this one. If these were the conditions on which the COVID vaccine was made, I'd maybe be like, "Hey, let's hang back."
Yeah.
When Lionel leaves the prison, his mysterious benefactor is waiting in the car for him, revealed to be an old friend who at that point remains anonymous to the viewer. Lionel laughs and says he should have known.
I like that good Lionel is rocking all white. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. Very into it.
So he looks great. I love that touch. But just kind of logistical question. My understanding is that when you get to prison, you turn in the clothes you're wearing. Right? And then when you leave, you put those clothes back on. At least that's what movies had led me to believe. So either he showed up in all white, which I don't think he did, or when he turned good in prison, he called someone and was like, "Hey, I need good guy clothes.
I need good guy clothes. So you come drop them off. I'll get changed into them. I'm not getting into your car, though. You're not going to take me home. You're going to go. No, I got what I needed from you."
Or maybe he packed it like, "I'm going to bring this just in case I turn good while I'm in here."
Look, you got to be ready for every fucking contingency, right? That's how you make $1 billion, Zach. You're ready for any fucking plan of action.
How good does John Glover look this season? He's
so
just looking
good.
Real good.
So
real
good.
Yeah.
With the toxin under control and everyone treated, Clark and his parents return to the farm and discuss things. He says that his hallucination has made him afraid to tell any of his close friends about his secret. Yeah, remember when you told your best friend Pete Ross and then he fucking left the state? Doesn't come up at all.
Who?
Yeah. Jason is considering leaving Smallville since he doesn't like what he's becoming. Lana senses he is not telling her the full story, but Jason does not come clean. Clark finds Chloe at the torch office, very angry that the whole thing is being swept under the rug. How do you expect that? No, this will never be mentioned again, Chloe. Welcome to the program. Welcome to how we do things here. He asks why she is so worked up, and she admits her anxiety over her worst fear. She admits that she found her mother 3 months ago in a mental institution with a hereditary psychiatric disease. She starts to cry, and Clark tries to assure her that she's not necessarily going to develop it too. Chloe stresses that she feels much less scared of having shared her secret with a friend. Because of Dream Lana's reaction, Clark is scared to reveal his secret to anyone. He is forced to renege on telling his own fears and does not take the opportunity to tell her his secret. And that's the episode. I'd give it a middling one. I think there's some good stuff here, mostly in the Lex department. End of list, kind of.
Yeah.
And John Glover in a white suit.
Yeah. Yep.
We've only got one needle drop this week. It's Falling by Maggie Smith. I assume that was playing while Jensen Ackles
I wasn't
was
a fan
falling.
of that. I wasn't a fan of that final needle drop.
Oh, is that where that was? Got it. I didn't even clock it. Looking at the title here, to scare means to fill one with fear.
Interesting.
What do you know? We got some notes here. On the season 4, on the season 4 DVD set, there is an alternate dream sequence for Lex in which he dreams that he's about to get married. Blah 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 blah. Yep, that's exactly what you said. This episode is very similar to the chemical specialties of a villain from DC Comics called Scarecrow. Had Batman Begins come out now by this point? No, Batman Begins is the next.
It was in production. It came out that summer.
Got it.
So this is, I think, what is this? What are we in, February or something? December?
December. I think that's right. Okay, cool.
So the following whatever, June or whatever it came out.
According to the notes here, you are correct. That nuclear strike was used in Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. And not only that, it will be used again in season 7.
Yep. Great.
Let's see. Try to see if anything else interesting here. Not really. Lionel tells the prison warden that he is guilty of many crimes, but not the one for which he has been convicted. That is a lie on his part, as he confessed the truth to Chloe in truth while under the effects of the Levitas project, a substance that makes people answer truthfully. This is odd behavior for a supposedly repentant man. Let's see. Seeing here anything else of interest? I guess that's everything. All right. We did it. Another one in the can.
We got 2 big ones coming up.
Oh man.
Our girl's coming back.
I'm so excited. Someone actually has some chemistry with.
Yeah. I think Lois is in at least one of those episodes also. So we get Lois, we get Alicia. We're cruising, baby.
Great. We are in great shape. Make sure to join us next week for that. I guess unless my wife goes into labor, then who knows?
Then you and I will be talking about Superman the Motion Picture.
Right. But hey, you can head to talonmix.show for all of our episodes and all the links to all of our socials. Thank you so much for listening. I was meant to look it up before. 2004 baby names. I'm trying to figure out who has to leave a review. Let's see. The number 2 girl's name in 2004 is Madison. Madison. You have to go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. You have to. It doesn't have to be nice. Just go. But it'd be nice if it was nice. It'd be
It
nice
has
if
to
it
be
was
nice, Madison. It has to
does
be
have
nice.
to be
Don't
nice,
listen
Madison.
to him. You have to do it.
You have to do it, Madison. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
Yeah, so if the fear toxin infected Michael Rosenbaum, not Lex Luthor, in real life, would his nightmare be that we have taken over Talkville, you and I?
Good night, everybody.